The AKM is the highest damage fully automatic assault rifle in PUBG with 48 points into base damage, and it's also the slowest firing of all the assault rifles, but with the lack of foregrip attachments it can make the AKM incredibly difficult to handle. So in this video we'll be comparing all 4 muzzle attachments for the AKM, doing 5 sprays per attachment to see what truly gives you the best recoil control for this beast of an assault rifle. And just a friendly reminder, if you guys want to check out all the spray patterns I've done for every assault rifle tested so far, I have all of them posted in my Discord, which I have linked down below. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Doing a quick review of the suppressor, as it provides no horizontal or vertical recoil mitigation whatsoever. While the groupings within the first 3 to 5 bullets were pretty tight, there was a significant amount of horizontal and vertical recoil that, yeah man, the suppressor and the AKM just don't really pair well together. During my horizontal test where I'm pulling my mouse just directly down, gave me very similar results to the spray pattern shown on the left hand side, where 3 out of the 5 sprays conducted actually didn't perform too bad horizontally, but man, I had to use every inch of my mouse pad vertically to pull this thing down. But I will say I think the AKM sounds the coolest with the suppressor compared to any other assault rifle in PUBG. Moving on to the flash hider with its 10% in horizontal and vertical recoil control, which had fairly tight groupings within the first 15 shots. And you could tell while doing the horizontal spray test that was fairly consistent as well. Between the first 10 to 15 shots it had very little horizontal and vertical sway, but after that it became highly unpredictable. I didn't expect the flash hider to work this well with the AKM, but I'm for sure going to give it a shot moving forward. Now moving on to the Compensator with its 10% horizontal and 15% vertical recoil control, which surprisingly had very similar results to the flash hider. Those first 10 to 15 shots had incredibly consistent and tight groupings, with 3 out of the 5 sprays staying pretty consistent between the whole 30-round magazine, which was incredibly apparent when doing our horizontal sway test, where after the first 15 bullets fired you could tell the AKM starts to have a lot of horizontal deviations, but even with that the Compensator paired with the AK makes it feel incredibly controllable, and it shouldn't be any surprise here that if you're trying to control recoil on the AKM, the Compensator is clearly the way to go. Moving on to the Muzzle Brake with its 8% in horizontal and vertical recoil control and 35% in reduction in camera shake, the Muzzle Brake actually really surprised me with how similar it was to the flash hider. And after reviewing all 5 sprays, you can see within the first 7 to 8 shots it had fairly tight groupings, but even after that it was fairly consistent horizontally. And when the AKM is paired with the Muzzle Brake, I think you truly see how much camera shake that this gun actually has. While doing the horizontal sway test, all 5 sprays just felt incredibly smooth. While it did require a little bit more of a vertical pull down than when using the Compensator, but actually felt way easier to shoot because your screen's not shaking all over the place. Which for me became incredibly evident when I put all 4 attachments side by side. The flash hider I think handles the AK fairly well, but I look at it more like it's a placeholder until I find a comp or muzzle brake. But if I'm running into a warehouse and there's a Compensator and muzzle brake side by side, yeah man, that's a tough one. Depending on what scenario I'm in, if I know if I'm going to be doing a lot of standing sprays or using a bigger scope with the AK, I'm probably going to lean more towards the Compensator, or if I'm in a close quarters situation, I might lean more towards the muzzle brake. And when comparing all 4 muzzle attachments side by side, yeah, the suppressor, man, that's a rough sell. But with the flash hider and muzzle brake, you can see really what I'm talking about here, that vertically and horizontally, very similar. Whereas the comp provided the tightest groupings within those first 10 to 15 shots, but after that it was kind of a guessing game on where the gun was going to be shooting. So in conclusion, I'd say best overall, I'm actually going to give this one to the Compensator still, only because those groupings within the first 10 to 15 shots are incredibly tight, and in any scenario where you're going to be standing or might have to use a 3x scope, the AKM is going to perform a lot better with the Compensator than it would the muzzle brake. But the muzzle brake is a very close second just because of how smooth it made the AKM feel when you're shooting it. If you only plan on using a red dot, or if you're going to be in a close quarter situation, the muzzle brake will by far be the best attachment to use due to the camera shake reduction because you can actually see where you're shooting. And that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching and dealing with my nasally drone. Forgive me, I've been sick for the last week, so I'm trying to get my voice back. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and sub. We got plenty more PUBG content on the way. I also stream every Friday and Saturday, so if you guys want to come by, have some laughs, and just joke around, come hang out. Thank you all for the support as always, and I will see you guys on the next one.